Get ready for a thrilling chess game. Like and subscribe to join the fun. Pawn to e4.
This is a book move. The opening is called French defense.
This is a book move. The opening is called French defense, normal variation.
This is a book move. The opening is called French defense.
This is a book move. The opening is called French defense, positional variation.
This is a book move. The opening is called French defense, classical variation.
Pawn to e5 was the best move.
Knight from file left to d7.
Pawn to f4 is excellent. Knight from file c to e2 is best.
Pawn to c5.
Knight to f3.
Knight to c6.
Bishop to e3.
Pawn captures on d4 was the best move.
Pawn to a3 is good. Knight to e2 is best.
Pawn captures on d4 is best. This is a trade. This creates a fork on knight and bishop.
Knight captures on d4 is best.
Bishop to c5.
Knight captures on c6 was the best move.
Knight captures on d4.
Bishop captures on d4 was the best move.
Bishop captures on d4.
Queen captures on d4 is best.
Queen to b6.
Queen captures on b6.
Knight captures on b6 is best. This defends a rook on e8.
Bishop to d3.
Bishop to d7 is best. This develops a bishop.
Knight to e2 is excellent. This defends a pawn on f4. Queenside castle is excellent.
Knight to f4.
Pawn to b3.
Knight to c5 is best. This defends a pawn on b7. This attacks the bishop.
Knight to d4.
Pawn to f5.
Pawn to h4 was the best move.
Rook to c8 was the best move.
Pawn to b4 is good. This attacks the knight. King to e3 is excellent. This defends the knight and pawn on d4 and f4.
Knight to f4 is good. Knight to e4 check is best. This offers a trade.
Pawn to g4.
Pawn captures on g4 was the best move.
Rook from file h to g1 is excellent. This defends a pawn on g4. This develops a rook. By placing the rook on an open file, it controls important columns. Rook from file to g1 is best. This defends a pawn on g4. This develops a rook. By placing the rook on an open file, it controls important columns.
Rook from file h to g8 is best. This develops a rook.
Rook to g3.
Rook from file to f8.
Pawn captures on f5.
Attacking the kingside pawn structure, pawn captures on f5 opens lines for the rooks and prepares to develop the queenside pieces, putting pressure on black's position and creating potential weaknesses.
Rook from file to g1 was the best move.
Rook captures on g3.
Rook captures on g3.
Knight to b2 was the best move.
Pawn to c4.
Knight to b6.
Pawn to c5 was the best move.
Knight to a.
Pawn to c6 is good. This offers a trade. This attacks the pawn. Rook to g7 check is best. This creates a fork on king and pawn.
Bishop captures on c6.
Knight captures on c6 check.
Pawn captures on c6 is best.
Bishop captures on a6 is best. This captures a free pawn.
Knight to b6.
Bishop to b7 was the best move.
Knight to c4 check.
King to d1 was the best move.
King to f7.
Bishop captures on c6 was the best move.
Rook to c8 is good. This attacks the bishop. By placing the rook on an open file, it controls important columns. Rook to b8 is best. By placing the rook on an open file, it controls important columns.
Bishop to b5 is excellent. Bishop to b7 is excellent. This attacks the rook. This move gains a tempo.
Knight to b6.
King to d2.
Knight to c4 check is best. This offers a trade.
Bishop captures on c4.
Rook captures on c4 was the best move.
Pawn to b5 is best.
King to e7 is excellent. King to e8 is best.
Rook to g7 check.
King to d8 was the best move.
Pawn to b6.
King to c8 is best.
Rook captures on h7 is best. This defends a pawn on h2. By placing the rook on an open file, it controls important columns. This captures a free pawn.
Rook captures on f4.
Pawn to h4 is best.
Rook to d4 check was the best move.
Pawn to h5 is best.
Rook captures on a3.
Pawn to h6 is best.
Rook to b3 is good. This attacks the pawn. Rook to a2 check is best.
Rook to g7.
Rook captures on b6 is best. This defends a pawn on s6. This captures a free pawn.
Pawn to h7.
Rook to b2 check was the best move.
King to c3.
Rook to h2 was the best move.
Rook to g8 check was the best move.